listening to the High Noon Podcast with your host, Mason Smith.
All right. Look, wait, hold on. You all right? All right. Welcome to another episode of High Noon. So excited for this one. Returning guest, friend of the pod, Nat Rogachevsky. Hadn't got to do a video one yet.
Yeah.
Now you get to see how ugly he is.
Yeah, I feel like I'm more of a cousin of the pod at this point.
Yeah.
I'm so frequent. When you record these before you introduce Nick, well, Nick can be introduced later. When you record these, do you air the just three guys awkwardly listening to the intro?
No.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Oh, no, he does that. No, he puts
Okay.
there's a video over it.
Okay, people are like,
Yeah, no, it's like a guy riding on a horse. It's really cool.
oh, I meant like the video of us listening to it.
No, he puts a thing over it so you
Okay.
don't see us.
Gotcha.
And Nicholas is sick, that motherfucker. So we got the producer. Is it a filmer?
Yeah.
What, he's the filmer?
I film it.
Yeah.
Yep, filmer,
Producer
editor,
Nick Corey,
producer.
everybody. For coming out from behind the scenes.
I should have played.
Oh, wait, so you
Sapaglia
got to
song.
bring this back up. Got it right there. Now the sound effects will work again.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's why I got Nicholas.
Okay. Cool. Looks like you didn't need him.
All right. What'd you do today?
Okay, I walked on a treadmill for 30 minutes at an incline of 13 at a speed of 3, which doesn't sound impressive, but it's good.
Is it?
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
I exclusively don't do cardio.
Yeah, I almost puked after. And then, but that's also because I'm very out of shape.
Really?
And
You wear it well.
I did that. I went to a meeting. I wrote some jokes. And then,
Was it a meeting of the Juggalos?
yeah, it was a gathering of the Juggalos that I went to. Dude, what a crazy bunch that is.
The Juggalos?
Someone's got to drop a nuke on those guys.
So you're a big music guy. That's why we know each other. And by the way, don't worry about talking about anything we've talked about on those audio ones because we're bringing in a whole new crowd.
Sure.
With the video aspect.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we can repeat some stuff, but we know each other because of a music.
I'm also
festival.
not too worried about lapping over for one of 17 people.
Yeah.
Whoa, we got 100
hey,
subscribers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude.
really? We just
Yeah.
cracked 100 too.
Hey. Oh, yeah. So you've got Slam Time Live. Check
That's right.
that out
Yeah,
on
Slam Time Live
YouTube
is the
with
shit.
Spencer Cavins.
Yeah.
Very funny comedian also. But
It's Cavins.
what did I say?
Don't worry about
Cavins is wrong?
Cavins is wrong.
Oh, Cavins.
Cavins,
Two
yeah.
bears, one caven.
That's right.
So anyways, do you like ICP?
No.
Like music? Okay,
Not at
because
all.
I don't either,
It's
but
some of the worst music I've ever heard in my life.
I agree 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like ICP?
Brendan, my roommate, and I went as the ICP for Halloween,
Mm-hmm.
and he got into their music. He started listening to it unironically.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I was going to say, you know Heath.
Uh-huh.
He actually listens to
Really?
ICP, and he tried to show me on multiple occasions, and I'm like, dude, it sucks. Like, this is
Wow.
just not good. It's bad.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's crazy. It's crazy. You ever heard the some of their aliases? This is the best.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. So this is the best. So it's Shaggy, Too Dope, and Violent J.
Mm-hmm.
And just a couple of the also known. This is all the different names that Violent J raps as: Jagged Joe, Golden Jelly, Neck Cutter. Which is so funny. Yeah, because someone, one day he was like, yo, that's fucking hard as shit.
Right.
Moon Glorious. This is a good one. Bullet. Just Bullet. Mr. Diamond. Fats Pepper. Big Baby Sweets. Big Baby Chips.
Yo, Big Baby Chips.
This is these next two might be my favorite. Dr. Punch.
like
Taste
that?
of your own
Like,
medicine.
Yeah. Does he say that?
I hope not.
Yo, I'm Dr. Punch. Let me give you a taste of your own medicine.
Duke of the Wicked.
Wow.
Yeah, which I feel like the Duke of the Wicked most of the time. Don't you?
Yeah.
Sometimes don't you feel like you're just weaving webs that everyone's getting caught in?
Does
your
the-
little plans and designs. Don't you feel that way?
Yeah. Does the other guy have them too?
Yeah, let's get. Well, we'll just close out. It's the Juggler, the Southwest Juggler, Big Joe Bruce, and Happy J, because it's Violent J. Yeah.
That's
Okay,
'cause,
so
he fucks them.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, these are pretty good too. Shaggy 2 Dope is the other one. I think Shaggy 2 Dope, he's like the brawn of the operation.
Let me ask you this: is it Shaggy TOO dope or Shaggy number 2?
Number 2.
Okay.
Shaggy 2 Dope.
Yeah.
Okay. Sugar Bear, Sugar Wolf, Kangol Joe, Guy Gorfy,
What the fuck does that mean?
Guido, spelled Gweedo. This is a good one. The Hammed Burglar. 2 Dope, Shaggy 2 Dope, Gold D, Full Clip, Mr. Club, Southwest Strangler, Bazooka Joey. That's tight. Bazooka Joey is sick.
But yeah, there it is.
Stretch Nuts. Stretch Nuts is sick.
Stretch nuts.
Ronnie Tiger. Shags.
Now, do they have albums under those names too, or that's just their? They just also like to go by that. I think he should have been the Spam Burglar.
Yeah, it's hard to gauge the entirety of the creative universe of Insane Clown Posse. It's like watching One Piece. There's thousands and thousands of hours of material, and
Some would say genius.
that's right, because they've created full arcs that they bounce in and out. It's not always canon either, so that's what you have to understand.
Canon.
It's not something you shoot out of.
Yeah.
So
for example,
I thought maybe you meant Nick Cannon.
the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
That is a canon. And so if they tell a story that uses some of the same characters, but they don't consider it within the same universe, that's outside of canon.
Okay.
All right.
I really like Thor: Love and Thunder.
That's funny that you said that. Might be like the worst one.
Someone told me that last time because it's got
mean-
Taku Waititi.
Oh yeah.
He's in all of the Thors, I think. After the first one. After the first one, he's in all of them.
But I love him.
yeah,
he's
great.
so funny.
He's hilarious.
Yeah. Did you watch the pirate show he put out?
I watched like an episode. I couldn't really get into it.
It wasn't that great, but it was still fun. It was.
worth bringing up though.
It's just the most recent thing I can think of.
Okay.
I almost puked in my mouth.
Yeah.
There was one time I actually walked past the Insane Clown Posse.
Really?
Did you point and laugh?
No, I was like 18 and I was seeing 21 Pilots at a Hartford Underground in Connecticut. And it was like a dual theater, and so it was like one concert on one side, and then all these crazy fucking juggalos. And they had a shit ton of soda bottles too.
Oh, Faygo.
Faygo.
Yeah, that's their thing.
That's the thing, yeah.
Because they shake it up
And then make
they
everybody
spray it up.
sticky.
Yeah.
I would be pissed.
Yeah.
If
we-
somebody sprayed me with Faygo. I would be so mad.
Steve Aoki covered me in champagne.
He does cake too, which is
Yes.
also a sticky substance.
I was not caked, but I was champagned heavily.
Nice.
Very under the age.
Des Fafara rubbed my head.
Des Fafara?
The lead singer of Devil Driver.
Des Fafara?
That's where I got Dez's name from.
It sounds like a sound you make after you get hit on the head.
Yeah, I think he's probably got a dash of something in him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know he's from Rhode Island?
I was actually about to bring that up. I did know. We've talked about
You're
this.
from Boston originally?
Yeah. Right outside of Boston. Yeah.
Sure.
He's from where that there
my
Joe
favorite,
Rogan's from.
My favorite sequel, Outside Boston.
Yeah.
Sequel to Outside Providence.
Yes.
So you know the movie about the Boston bombing with Mark Wahlberg? What did they call it? I forget what they called it.
Fuck!
No.
No, I don't know.
What did they call it? It was Patriots Day.
Patriots
I think
Day.
they called it.
Patriot,
But
yeah,
that
yeah.
was all like the dude.
Were
like,
you there?
ran-
Were you in town?
I moved
Right
there
after,
literally like 2 months later, and everybody that I was telling I was moving was like, "Why would you move up there? They just had a bombing."
Yeah.
And I'm
Your
like,
people are so simple. You come from a...
hey, but let's also not discourage the fact there's definitely people in the lake, for example. It's just like meeting rednecks, except for they talk different.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Hal's Neck, full of rednecks.
That's true.
Except for
they're called townies in the Northeast. Yeah,
exactly.
That's true. That's true. I do think I do. It's what the difference though is that even townies think that they're like, they think they're
Better.
like of royal blood.
Yeah, because they're
Yeah.
above the Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah, and also they're all like descendants of the Pilgrims and
Right,
shit.
yeah. We've been here forever.
Yeah, exactly. That's
That
literally.
sounded like he had a speech impediment.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah, they think that they're like. They think that they're in like the proletariat. Like,
I had a guy tell me when I was a welder for 11 years, and when I was working in the shipyard, this guy told me, he goes, you've got a fucking accent. I don't got a fucking accent.
Yeah.
I've been here. My people have been here for now I'm fucking it up. Forever.
You've been here forever.
You are not a cop.
Yeah. Yeah. They shut down where you ended up moving into at Martine's house. They closed off that street.
Derby Street.
In the manhunt.
Yes. Yeah.
Fritz Okar.
Yeah.
Fritz Okar.
And we have a mutual friend that used to sell him weed and shit in college, which is kind of.
And we have a mutual friend who lost to him in a wrestling match, and that's his big closer, and it's dog shit.
Oh. You could have let that one.
No, I thought it was the right amount of time.
I just remembered who you're talking about. Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. You just said it was dog shit.
Yeah, his stuff is bad. It's all right.
That's so funny, dude.
He's always got such like nervous energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, things are going good. Yeah. Oh no, yeah, stuff's good. Yeah, that's his whole vibe.
Yeah, so funny. And but did you ever you went down to Askew too, right?
Yeah,
Did
all
you-
the time.
Yeah, back before everything was finally normal in Boston. But
I did stand up once there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's one of my first open mics ever.
I miss Boston every day.
Yeah, it's a much better place than here.
Dude, I'm so glad. Because
I
you know
hate
what's
Boston.
funny is
Really?
when you first moved here, you were so on board with like, you loved it and this and that. And then I think it took maybe 2 months, 2 or 3 months where me and you both at one point were just kind of loosely chatting. And I go, kind of sucks here, you know? And you kind of just go, yeah, it really does.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a shit town.
Yeah, life's good.
It's
It's the quality of life is cool. and
It's fun.
exciting,
It's
right?
fun, and there's so much stage time. There's so much comedy opportunity. But non-comedy stuff,
If you were to take all this opportunity and throw it in Boston, it would be like a mecca. It would be like the best place on earth.
100. I agree with
Funny
that 100%.
Like, Rogan would not have brought it back to his home. I mean, maybe he didn't want to go home, but
Yeah, I think it was,
I don't think he likes the Northeast in general.
it's fair.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm not a big Boston fan. I don't know.
I just love the Northeast in general.
If
just
you were
the whole
if you were to
vibe.
take the people here and put them in, if you were to take the people, keep the towny accents, but make them just a little nicer, because people are actually wicked mean in Boston.
Well, they're also
They
straightforward too, which is also
it's
another
how it
thing.
taught me how to treat homeless people.
But New Yorkers, the thing is that New Yorkers are straightforward as well, but I think they're much kinder.
Do you really?
I really do. Yeah, I think they are. I think because everyone moves to New York with a dream in mind. You know what I mean? They're trying to do something, and they're trying to like be the best at whatever they do. You don't really like move to New York unless you're like trying to do really well
At something. Right.
And so, and like you kind of have this like shared thing when you move there where like you kind of are addicted to more. You move to New York because you want to be surrounded by everything. You want all the people, all the culture, all the restaurants, all the shows. Even if you don't partake in all of it, you want access there. That's
Right.
why you move there.
Right.
You need more. And so there's something about that even though, and most of the time when someone's being a dick to you in New York, they're just busy.
Yeah, right. They just don't have the time for it.
They literally like I got like even comics. They just like when they're done with their
Yeah.
spots, they go because they got 8 other spots.
Right,
Well, that's the whole
exactly.
thing. It's not personal.
That's
Which
right.
I know, but I don't know if New Englanders take it more personal or
Bo-
like
bo-
if they. I don't know.
Boston people are cunty, and the scene is very cunty.
Yeah.
The comedy scene is very cunty.
Just
Well-
out of your way to be shitty.
You know one
Whereas
thing-
New York
People
is
like
just like
pretending not
I
to
stay
know
out of
you
your
and
way.
shit.
Yeah.
One thing that I do really enjoy about the comedy here though is that most people that are here moved here
For comedy.
like uprooted their whole life. So people here are trying really hard to do this.
Yes.
So you get better quality of comedy
The
too.
people that moved here that are impressed by Austin moved from like Tulsa. You know what
yes,
I mean?
yeah.
Everyone's like, man, the food here is so good. It's like,
no, it's not.
I was in
It's-
Chicago.
It's
so
really
same.
not.
Yeah, like
And I'm not. You know me. I'm not a foodie at all.
Right.
Even I said this. I said Austin is like an uncultured New Orleans.
yeah.
Like it's got all the
Right,
partying
like
and the
there's no
boozing,
culture,
minus the cool architecture.
Have you been to Houston yet?
No, I'm
Houston's fantastic.
dying to go down there. Do you think would you have rather him like Rogan made this but in Houston?
If I know what I know, if I knew what I know now, because I've gone and visited Houston and I love it.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about
The
Houston.
food's fantastic, unbelievable museums and parks. It's like poorly planned as a city. People complain like there's unnecessarily bad traffic.
That's
Yeah.
also my problem with Boston as
Yes,
well.
that is horrible.
Yeah.
It is-
And
it
that's
is-
just as a
yes.
starter. It's just like it doesn't even. There's not a reason for me to live if I was living around Boston and maybe didn't want to go outside of Boston, like after to California. Or
if Boston was built for like 1/20th of the population that's in there,
right? Because it's
such a small,
such an old city.
And the peninsula part of Boston is so tiny.
Yeah,
people don't get how
Boston's small.
It takes me 15 minutes to get to my house from downtown Austin. I would not be in this. I would have left the city. You can drive if it was a straight shot. You could drive outside of the city of Boston in like 5 minutes.
Right,
5 minutes straight shot. You're out of town,
dude. I remember at my house in Howes Neck, it was when I would leave, I would go home, get ready to go to the comedy studio, which was in Somerville. And to get there, leaving was 55 minutes.
And it
was
9
only
miles.
6 miles.
It's 6 miles.
6 or 7 miles to the
yeah.
comedy studio.
Yeah.
And it would take me 55 minutes, sometimes an hour. But coming home, it was still 30.
Right.
30, because you got to do all the crazy, like, getting through the fucking Somerville.
Yeah.
Then you get on the highway. Then you got to get off the
Somerville's
highway.
tight.
Yeah,
if I had
it
money,
was crazy.
If it was up to me, if I had infinite money, I would live in either Brookline or Cambridge.
Brookline's very nice. You had a nice place where you and Tara lived.
In Brighton?
The one before you moved here.
Oh, in Mission Hill?
Yeah.
That place was nice. It was kind of small. The area is kind of whatever. There wasn't a lot going down in Mission Hill.
What do you miss about? Do you have another thought?
No.
What do you miss about Boston?
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, the architecture's great.
I love the weather.
Fall, the weather.
I miss seasons. I couldn't say I miss the weather because I do get really bad. Like I get really down when it's so like my seasonal depression. Even though it does get dark here, like normal, like
but there's
winter
no
times. I don't feel nearly as cooped up. But you're in the winter in Boston. You're stacked on top of yourself. Like it's people's.
Well, I think I just fell in love with where I lived in particular.
That was interesting.
I loved where I lived.
Yeah, because you would go on the canoe and shit.
Oh yeah, we would kayak all summer. We would my
do
neighbor.
that here.
No,
you could.
I was kayaking in the ocean.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty cool.
And like you're in the Boston Bay, like it was just cool. Like you could see the city.
It is cool.
I love where I lived in particular. There was this one area that it's sort of a beach. It was rocky, but it's not like a sandy beach. But it was gorgeous, and you could see the city right there across the
It's
bay.
a beautiful city. It's a real
and I love the
metropolitan area. Like it's fun. It's fast. There's cool shit to do. I think there's actually more going on in Boston. The city of Boston to me feels more alive than even Austin. Like the problem with Austin is that like a crux of its nightlife is 6th Street, which is such a tourist attraction. So it's wrong
it's a shithole.
It's the wrong kind of fun. It's people having fun without really knowing how. So people on 6th Street, people were like spending their money getting fucked up on 6th Street. They've got like the taste of like of a guy with no tongue. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Sure,
like,
And also, I will say this too, and this is something I've said a ton of times, but the opportunity I've gotten here to get to perform like at Vulcan, for example, in front of 300 people, 200 to 300 people regularly. When would I have ever gotten to perform in front of 300 people in Boston at my level of time in comedy?
no, the stage time's why we're here.
Yeah, and it's
well, that's the whole thought is that a lot of you used to move to Chicago, but now that as the idea that this is the middle city before I'm going to move, and that's what this is. It's just a cutting
great place to get good.
Yeah, exactly. And then you move on. It's your strategy, and I think that's why we all, that's why I moved to Chicago initially, is for improv and for sketch and just writing, and learn from them.
Cool.
But let's. I didn't want to talk too much about comedy.
Yeah,
I do, but one more comedy thing. One more comedy thing I do want to talk about. You are a writer on the sketch show.
Where do you get your ideas from?
Yeah, where do you get your inspiration? But you're the writer. You're one of 3 writers on TV sketch show. Check that out on YouTube. Phenomenal. So well done.
Thank you.
Nick Barr is actually the owner of this company, Travel Buddies. Check that out. And he was the filmer,
director, producer,
editor. And I mean, my God. It looks so. Did you watch? It looks so fucking good, dude. The chameleon one, the accent chameleon one, is so fucking funny. I love it. But
episode 2 is almost ready.
Fuck yeah! And I'm in that one. So good though. But are you just gonna keep making more and more sketches and just putting them out as is? Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, we. I mean The plan, if any, is to just kind of make them as good as we can, and then if we've submitted to various sketch festivals and stuff like that, and if
so it's not like you're just putting them out and then not. Yeah.
No, yeah, we're gonna try to pump it if we can.
Cool.
You know what I mean? It'd be really cool if we could like sell it. That'd be tight.
Right.
Get picked up on a network.
Fuck yeah.
I think it's good enough.
Dude, I think the way it literally looks like a professional TV show.
And that's also single. That's like single camera, single one person editing and directing team.
Right.
He's got no AD.
Well, I'm sure if you ever wanted to have a second camera, fucking this guy could hop in there.
More.
He did my mine and Munford's promo.
Tight. That was really good.
Thanks,
I really like that a lot.
Still running, gunning and stuff, figuring out.
I thought that the I was telling Mason, I was like the point of that was like so clear throughout the entirety of the sketch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like the idea was so clear the whole way through, and that's so hard to do in such a short period of time. I thought it was really good because you'll see people like with an idea like that and it's like really disjointed. But I thought it was picked up really well.
Fuck yeah,
I really enjoyed that.
Well, it was a whole team effort.
That was really fun. It turned out great. All the edits.
Just
and
a lot.
shit.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
cool.
Yeah, and at that point, it's just like looking at everything we have, and
Right.
like, what can we do with this? That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a blast. I can't wait to do another one.
Yeah, we and like that's the whole thought is like we're doing the best with what we have right now, and
and it's great.
If anybody likes it and it gets picked up, then they throw some cash at it, make it even bigger.
Fuck yeah. You want to do a segment?
Yeah, let's do a segment.
Let's do. You might have to scroll since you don't know.
Which one?
I think it's called.
This tastes so bad, dude.
You don't like the black cherry?
It's not the flavor. It's the HEB one. It's specifically. It's
well,
got this
Polar's
aftertaste.
the best. Yeah.
Why are you cheaping out on seltzer?
Well, because it's the big one, the 12-pack, and it's
Yeah.
black. I think it should say Cell Door or something.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's Jail Tales.
Yeah.
Oh, just tell me we're doing Jail Tales.
Oh, well, I didn't want to ruin it. Actually, it's the only segment we have.
Yeah, it's either that or a segue. Get us out of here.
Yeah, let's do Jail Tales.
It's not alphabetical, huh?
Wow. It says Cell Door. All right, anyways, fuck it. We're doing Jail Tales.
We got it. What the fuck?
I think we could just probably just.
We're gonna edit this. We're gonna edit
there.
Where is it?
This was a good time for me to check my phone.
I swear to God, I've seen it.
We don't have to do the sound. Can you cut this all out?
Let's just start the segment.
Yeah, I said that. Let's just do it.
I got it. All right. Say.
All right.
Look at him real quick, and then you're gonna go. Hey, you want to do a segment once it's on you? All right.
Hey,
ready?
you want to do
not yet. Go.
Hey, you want to do a segment?
That sounds great.
Let's do Jail Tales.
Wow. Now you guys aren't worried about getting hit with like a copyright with that sound?
No, we were doing bad boys, and it got flagged.
Hey, you better watch just singing that. They'll get you.
No, because it's parody.
Oh, okay. I farted bad.
Oh no.
Safety.
Hey, hit the bowl and blow the smoke. Smoke weed.
Oh, I thought
Smoke weed. It's gonna stink. Just blow it over this one.
It smells like broccoli.
Yeah,
blow it this way.
Yeah, let's blow it towards the recovering.
You're a fool.
So I didn't think a fourth time was necessary, probably.
Well, it's just getting us back on track.
But yeah, so let's hear about some of your. I'm really glad you're intrigued here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we done figuring it out?
Yeah, I think so. I think
We do a little bit of IT on this episode. So that was the IT segment.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we're good to go.
We should do what's the computer song where it's like fucking
Star Wars
from the 90s, internet connection.
Okay.
Oh, the dial-up connection.
That's our IT sound.
That might be copywritten.
No.
I think between you saying should we do a segment to when the segment has become, I think it's been about 75 minutes.
Quit pushing it.
So what's the segment?
Jail Tales.
And what does that mean?
It means you tell us. I told you. You said you had some stories of run-ins with the police officers.
Run-ins with the law.
Or going to jail or getting close to being arrested. Whatever you brought.
Yeah, I remember one time I was hanging out with this kid. He was like my best friend at the time, this kid Trevor.
How old were you?
I was like 13 and he was 15 or 16.
Always an older kid.
Yeah, and he was a Latin king. And his
more like a Latin prince, I think.
He had like the big like lion tattoo with the crown on it.
Was this the guy that lived above that bar on Moody Street?
Maybe.
Remember that guy we
Yeah.
would go see and he would shout down from his window when we'd be walking by?
I don't remember. Oh yeah,
he was a Latin king. Is that the same guy?
I think so. Yeah.
Hilarious.
And he
that
taught
dude was
me
insane.
You know what he would do? He would taught me how to tie up the bags of brown weed with there's no end on it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Where it's just a nub. And
you melt it.
He'd sell them at our high school in his jaws, like in like the suburb, like,
as if it was crack.
because he was from the Bronx.
Okay.
And he
This
got.
is definitely
I'm sorry,
the
he
same
was
guy.
from Harlem, and he got in a bunch of trouble. And then his mom married rich to try to get him out of the hood, and she took him and his crazy ass brother into our hometown, which was the burbs.
And they wreaked havoc.
Like you wouldn't believe. And we got pinched. He was driving drunk. I was in the back seat, and they start hitting him. I think he was in the passenger seat, and his brother starts getting pinched for a Dewey, and then they start locking him up. And I was in the back, shit faced, and I came out of the car, and I was like, "You're racially profiling my friend."
You were trying to be like the Karen.
I was white knighting him.
Yeah.
And they're like, "All right, well, just get back in the car, or you're going to jail." And I was like, "No, that's bullshit. You're always fucking with my friend." And even he was like, "Shut up." Like,
they were gonna let you go probably.
yeah, totally. And then I just kept fucking with him. And then they start locking him up. And I was like, that's fucking bullshit. You have no right to do that. He didn't have anything on him. Da, 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 like talking all this shit.
Yeah.
For my friend.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're right, but he does have like 4 warrants. So now we're taking him and you. And it was just like a drunken disorderly.
And then your mom came and got you?
No. I called her and she was like, I'll get you after work. So I spent the night in jail.
Wow.
At 13?
You said 13. So
yeah,
you,
13, 14
So how'd
maybe.
you know this guy?
Oh, because when I moved there, he was
Yeah.
just still in the town we
Wow.
lived in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's funny.
Probably
I called her.
drugs.
I remember I called her and I was like, yeah, I'm in trouble. I'm in jail. I'm in holding. And she's like, well, that sucks because I have work in the morning.
And I know your mom too,
Yeah.
so this is just like.
And what the wackest part is that she probably works maybe 15 minutes from where I was locked up. And I was like, but this was late, and so she's like, this will ruin all my sleep. And I'm like, yeah, that's reasonable.
No, you were mad, right?
I was so mad. I was like, are you fuck? I called her a bitch. I was like,
She's like, well, now you're definitely staying.
well, I knew I wasn't going to change her mind anyway, so I wanted to let her know how I really felt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so I spent the night in jail. And then one time me and
Do we need to bleep that or?
I doubt it.
Okay.
I think he's okay.
Okay.
We've
had. Well, never mind.
Now we do.
Yeah. Never mind.
What happened?
So we'll bleep it.
We'll bleep it now.
So we've had to bleep his name with multiple guests.
Because they were talking shit.
No, because he gave them ketamine
Okay.
before a set.
Got it.
How many? That's like we've had like
it was two or three.
three or four guests.
It's my boy.
Yeah.
He
They grew up together.
Really?
Yeah, I've known him since I was
He's from
14.
Massachusetts?
So he's from, and then he all similarly moved to Massachusetts around,
Yeah.
Cool.
and then spent like there, and then moved again.
Sure.
And so
We're just going to whiplash all the details about
Yeah.
it and be like, oh, which comic could it be?
Yeah. So that's funny. And so me and him, he was dating this chick, and you'll have to bleep that too. and so she had this brother. And
That's a terrible name.
Yeah, some kid robbed him for weed. Some kid like burned him for pot.
Yeah.
And
A big amount or no?
like a quarter.
Okay.
And he got smoked and he was all sad. So me and Tyler, I don't know why we were just looking to get in trouble like this. But we went and we found the kid and we stole his bike and we punched him like a couple times. We didn't like jump him or beat him up or anything. But we just
Punched him a couple
punched him.
in the face.
Yeah, like in the back of the head or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like one of us had him in a dumb headlock, and the other was probably like missing, hitting us in the arm.
Yeah,
you know
right.
What I mean? Like,
right.
You're like 14,
Yeah.
15, something like this.
Somebody kick somebody in the shin.
Just idiots. And
Right.
actually, this might have been closer to 17. That was like one of the first times I really got blasted on pot. Was I was smoking weed at this kid Ryan DeStefano's house, and we were smoking out of a PVC bong, listening to Tool.
Hell yeah. Let me ask you this.
10,000
Did
days.
the parents smoke weed?
Yeah, the dad was
It's
a cop.
It's always at a parent's house where they smoke weed too.
The dad was a cop that used to always steal weed from people.
That tracks.
And then we'd steal weed from his dad.
Hell yeah.
It was so tight.
Getting back at the man.
Yeah, good ass weed. We're
Hell
smoking
yeah.
out of fucking pipes.
When you were doing that, because you did hard drugs early on,
Yeah.
right? So I never did like real hard drugs till I was already out of high school.
I did coke when I was like 14.
I was scared because I raced motocross.
Yeah.
So all I cared about was doing the dirt bike thing, and then I got into drumming. I got into music big time.
You know what I just remembered? The first time that I did coke was at a Juggalo show.
Really?
My first concert.
Did it make it better?
No. I sat.
No.
I sat behind a barrier at the Worcester Palladium, just trading key bumps with my friend Mike Fantasia, and then he'd go to like get in the mosh pits and shit and jump around, and I'd pop my head over the barrier, sit and look, and it's just some guy in clown makeup. I'm like, I'm still good, and just sit down.
Right.
Like,
You're like, I'm just gonna sit here coked out.
I'm chill. I'd rather just be sitting straight down on coke than seeing
Than being involved in that at all.
Anyway, so we jumped this kid a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we run into the girls' complex, and we can't get in the apartment because she left and locked us out. So then we hid on the roof and of this apartment complex, and the cops found us up there.
Ladder to get up? Or
No, through the building up to
gotcha.
the top.
And
Somehow they found us.
Did you take the bike up too?
No.
Or ditched it in a bush or something?
I think we ditched it in a bush. And then we both went to holding, and we got booked, and then they let us out, and it was like this whole rigmarole. And then and then we had this court date that we were all scared about. We had like public defenders, and I think one of us like threatened to kill the guy if he showed up to court.
Like you called him, hey, you don't know me, but if you show up to court for Nat Rogachevsky, we're gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, and he didn't show up.
Oh, it worked.
And it got dismissed. And then as soon as the hammer hit,
gavel,
me and jumped in there and did a high five in the courtroom.
Oh my god.
And the judge was like, sit back down.
No.
Yeah, and he like almost held us in contempt of court.
Really?
Which, by the way, can I just say, what is more retarded than contempt of court? You just get to send someone to jail because you don't fuck with them?
Right,
That's
yeah.
literally
Right.
It's so bananas.
I don't like your attitude. Bailiff?
Literally, one man can have that. Not one man should have all that power.
Yeah, I thought it was
You're just
powder.
here to administer the law,
Right.
not create it.
Right.
And literally, they could just not fuck with the cut of your jib and hold you in contempt of court.
Well, did you watch that show on Showtime with Bryan Cranston, Your Honor? Have you seen this?
No.
Oh, well, never mind. It's a really, really good show.
Sometimes when I'm walking past Tara in the living room, I'll fart and I'll go, Your Honor. And I don't know.
Just something
I
to do.
Yeah.
That's just a little something for me.
Yeah.
You know? I love doing things for me. You know what I like to do? You know what I like to You know what I like to do? I'll be taking a shit, and I'll know Chad's out here.
Yeah.
And I'll just go, smells like shit in here. Just because it makes me
You leave the door open?
No, I'm not that rude.
I love leaving the door open.
I know you do.
Yeah, especially when friends are over.
So me and Nat lived together for about a year.
Yeah,
Okay.
he kicked me out of his apartment.
I did not kick you out. I didn't kick you out. Fucking Martine kicked you out.
Yeah.
And said, "How do
You
you
used
feel about
Martine
it?"
as
And
an
I was
excuse.
like, he is being a lie.
Yeah, it was bad.
I was like, he is being a lie.
In retrospect, I should have been
Were
gone a lot.
were you not sober at that point yet?
No.
Yeah.
I was at it was on its way to like the worst.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So one time I came home, and so there was an ongoing joke too about how people would find me just face down on the floor because I would just make it. I would make it in, like I'm home, and then
We lived on the second floor. You open our door, you go up a flight of stairs.
That's it.
and then there's the floor.
Sometimes you didn't make it. Sometimes you'd be blocking. Sometimes you couldn't get in because you'd be passed out blocking the door, and I'd have to go, bah! to and then you'd go,
Hey,
Like, and you'd be so mad. I can't get into my own
why are
house.
you waking me up?
Yeah.
Hey, but so one time I came home and he goes, hey, you want to try this? You told me it was a research chemical.
Yeah.
And
I thought it was.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, sure. Come to find out it was brown heroin.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I remember later that night I went and saw Bauer
Oh, yeah.
at Paradise
Was it
Rock.
fun?
Yeah. Yeah, it
Did
was
you
fun.
like the effects of the heroin?
Oh yeah, it felt
It's
great.
so good.
Yeah,
So,
it was good.
So what is heroin's effects like?
The best one. It's just the best of all
Just
drugs.
makes you you're sleepy. And
No,
you're
you feel very euphoric.
Yeah.
It's like the most
Is it similar to
euphoric drug.
ketamine at all? Like
No,
in the kind of like
No, ketamine's
spacey? No.
No.
It hits similar receptors in some
That's
ways.
what I was wondering, yeah.
I know a lot of dope junkies that end up getting real bad with the K because a lot of people detox off heroin with ketamine. But
Well, I remember when we would go to when you were still trying to figure out the life of doing it or not.
Mm-hmm.
I remember you would be like, "No, I've got to get some fucking ketamine in my system."
Mm-hmm.
It was ketamine and Jack Daniels you needed.
yeah,
Do you find that you needed like was it a chemical need of ketamine or was it like I just want ketamine?
it was both for sure. I enjoyed the effects of ketamine, but it helped with heroin withdrawals.
Gotcha.
Because every time it would be like we'd have some big trip planned to some music festival, and sometimes we'd go to music festival like every other week. That was fucking crazy.
You went more. I went a lot, but you went
Because it was also us
summer,
making my living,
right. That first summer I met
Were
you.
you working then?
just selling drugs.
Yeah. Mostly and like Molly and like LSD and shit.
Yeah,
But
and I was good at it.
Yeah, for real. And I mean, and that's how I was able to afford to do all of it too.
Yeah.
Like you would go and you would flip the Molly, and that paid for your ticket, paid for your part of the gas,
Wow.
paid for your rent
Yeah.
since you weren't
A
going to
real
be
fun
working.
concert. That's a fun experience.
Oh no, it was, dude.
Well,
It
no,
was,
that like makes it like
oh,
It was
worth
it was so baller.
Yeah,
it really
just
was
so fun.
cool
Be there.
as
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
We would just crush it, and then we'd crush it for like a few hours. You go out 11, 12, just crush for like 3-4 hours. Come back, and we're like, "What'd you pull? What'd you pull?" I'm like, "$30,000."
And then just party.
and then
Wow.
just go watch the coolest music with lights and
It
have
was the
sex with
best.
women.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Fuck, I forgot where I was going. But
needed ketamine
they
and
would
Jack
need
Daniels.
they would need to prepare though, right? So I remember there was multiple times where we would be at a festival and we'd be tripping, but he'd be going through withdrawals, which I didn't know how bad that must have been. But looking back, imagine tripping balls, but you're physically going through something.
It was so bad.
like
Really?
ugh,
Oh yeah.
it was awful.
Damn.
like just
It was real. It was really like I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy because that would be the thing is I'd plan. I'd be like, all right, I gotta sober up Monday, so that at least the worst part of it's done by Friday.
And this was before you were doing
something
heroin too. This was when you were doing the 30s. Yeah.
And then it's just like that's how addiction works. You're like, okay, I'll get sober Saturday, so by the next Friday it'll still suck, but it won't be as bad. And then like Friday I'm still high. like I'm just like still just doing them.
Yeah.
Ugh,
So
terrible.
bad.
But good times though. Nonetheless, very good times.
I could just never make it work. I could never make it work that I had my shit for an. I remember one time I like lost the one Percocet that was gonna get me through the night, and it was like so bad. Me and Kevin
Yeah.
were always fucking
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
Is he good? He's doing good.
I think he's okay.
Yeah.
I think he's okay. I haven't really talked to him too much recently, but he's doing his thing.
We had like such a fun crew of people that all went to these festivals all the time.
Yeah,
So much fun.
it was really fun.
Did you have a beacon? Like
No,
like
the
a
totem.
Oh, the totem?
Yeah.
No, we
Some
never had
retard
one.
would always have it, but it wasn't people that we brought.
The last one that we fucked with who had a totem is dead now. Sully.
Oh.
Remember that kid?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he would be like, he was all peace and love, and now he's
He got murdered.
he got murdered.
Yeah, wrong time, wrong place. Like
Literally.
just shouldn't have even been there. And then
What happened?
some people were breaking into a house that he was crashing at. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And they stabbed him. Fucking wild.
Mm-hmm.
But I just had another thought of another person that had a totem. Oh, you know what I thought you were gonna say? Because dude, we know. Man, I bet we know probably 3 or 4 people that we knew in the festival scene who've passed away.
Who else?
Well, that Cox guy,
Oh yeah,
he died, and then there's Sully. Actually, maybe that's the only 2 I know.
What about Daniel? Is he alive?
Kibichibikiskaberter?
No, with the dreadlocks that would
Oh,
smoke black
he's
tar.
an idiot.
Yeah,
Dude, this guy.
Because the Southern hippie, it's weird.
They're also
man.
drunks.
Yeah, they
Southern
drink
hippies are
moonshine and
drunks.
shit. It's a kind of scary because you never know what they're gonna do. These Southern hippies, they're so unhinged.
They're unpredictable.
Because they're from the backwoods of Arkansas and Alabama.
Yeah.
And you add psychedelics to the situation. I'm like, I don't even really want to know what happens to the mind that is so, you know what I mean? Like, you're coming from the mud and then you're throwing acid on that.
And
they're
then
like,
drunk.
oh, man.
Yeah.
Scary. They make weird.
Hey, I remember this guy. So, by the way, all these names we gotta.
Okay, all right.
I know that's a lot of. I know that's adding shit,
Happens.
but so this guy in particular, I knew him from high school.
Yeah.
And he was like a drummer as well. We were both drummers, but I watched his transition from normal, just like crunchy guy, to straight up filthy hippie, alcoholic, drug addict guy.
Wow.
And I remember one time I had just moved to Boston, and he was messaging me and Nat about how he goes, yeah, man, like I'm going to try to make my own music festival, and I'm really going to get these artists to come and all this shit. And then he goes, I just don't have any money.
That's Daniel.
Yeah. He goes, yeah, I'm going to do all this stuff, but I just don't have any money.
I remember this one time I was fucking spun on at a Tipper show in like 2016 or something.
At a festival or
At
just
a
a Tipper
festival,
show?
at a festival at Suwannee in Florida,
Oh,
which I'm
okay.
going May 2nd. I
Whoa.
know that, but you should come.
Yeah.
You should come.
We'll see.
You should
See how
come.
it goes.
It's my birthday.
Are you camping?
invited?
No, I'm getting a cabin.
Oh, that's more enticing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You in?
I
Just
can't
say yeah.
commit to it now.
Just say yeah.
Yeah.
All right. No, so, and I was fucking spun, dude. And I was just, I was so high, and people were like, so what do you do? And I was like, I'm going to be the next great DJ.
You thought you were going to DJ?
Yeah. And they were like, I was just high as shit on acid one day. And they're like, cool. Like, do you have like a SoundCloud? And I was like, no, I've never done it before.
I just got a feeling.
I was like, I'm not good with technology. I'm not musically inclined. If these ideas that are in my mind right now can get translated into that computer,
I'm going to be next
I'm going to
Space
change the
Nectar.
world. I'm going to change the world. And they're like, okay.
Hey, you don't mind. Of course you don't mind. I tell it. Dude, Nat used to tell us. I remember we went to a festival, and on the way home, he goes, guys, this is my calling. He goes, I was put on this earth to sell acid and push love and light. And I was sitting in the back seat like, man, I just moved here with this guy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And he's like talking about like being a professional acid dealer. Which is no more embarrassing than me pissing myself.
No, I think it is. Because pissing yourself is involuntary. I'm like choosing. I'm like, yeah, this is it. That's
You did. You said I was put on this earth to sell acid.
so bad, dude.
And I remember when we went to the All Good, the first like 5 sheets that we got were all fake.
No, I got him at All Good. Remember that?
Yeah.
I got him. I got burned.
Yeah.
I got burned bad.
So what, someone gave you like phony.
Someone, yeah.
It was
so-
just
somebody
paper.
bumped
It was just paper. Oh, but it was fine. We ended
that
up,
guy.
like,
someone hurt that guy at that music festival. I
someone
found out
should've
was
fuck that dude.
Yeah, I heard someone cut his like Achilles tendon or something
my
insane like that.
So dude, so for those of you that don't know, there's a whole music festival scene of people where it's like its own entity.
Yeah.
Like when you're there, it's like a
People have like
it's-
different names and shit.
It's legit. Yeah, you were classics.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh, dude, don't even. And they were like, "Oh, what's your name?" And you'd be like, "Mason."
Yeah. My mom named me Mason. That's what I'm gonna go by. But dude, there were
makes me wanna
you'd
puke.
hear stories of people like the Nitrous Mafia burying tanks, like a week before. And then they would come.
Do you remember
and-
the hippie strip club thing that was happening?
Yes.
That was the craziest thing I ever saw in my
Nuts.
life.
You can tell. That
Yeah,
was
so we
crazy.
had this friend. I think he was like Curly or something.
And that one dude, what was his name? What was that?
He had like that pineapple dread haircut.
Yeah, and he had a weird name, but he was like, "Oh, GDF."
Yeah, what was his name? Happy or some shit like that.
I don't remember.
He texted me at 2 a.m. He goes, GDF, which is the Grateful Dead family. It's just a gang of Grateful Dead people that sell drugs. So
it's like, literally just people who like Grateful Dead but sell drugs.
Yeah, and so
so the Grateful Dead,
and they're like loosely organized.
Yeah.
And this kid texts me at like 2 a.m. He's like, GDF, family shit's going down. There's like a strip club on site. And I was like, this is like the craziest text I've ever.
Did he put balloons in it?
No.
Too?
But then he comes and finds us and he goes, yo, this is crazy. And we go through the music festival grounds. And dude, I'm not even kidding. Right next to like across the street from where the cops had their station, there's this big, huge like circus festival tent that was all covered up in tarps and shit with music coming out of it. And you could see lights coming out on the outside.
Something was going on.
And he was like, tell him Taz sent you. And Taz was like,
that's the name I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
Was Taz.
And Taz is like this kind of like well-known dude out there and doesn't matter. But he's like, tell him Taz sent you. And then you go over there and you go, Taz sent me. And they go, all right, I'll get Taz. And this guy comes out and you're like, that's a different Taz. This is like a different.
It's just not him.
It was just like this pimp from Columbus, Ohio. This white guy with like gold grills, like Paul Wall.
It was bald.
And we're like, how much is it to get in there? He's like, it's $50. And I'm like, can I like look in there to see like what is happening inside of here? It's like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is crazy. And he opens the thing and it's just all these like strippers and prostitutes huffing nitrous balloons and shaking their tits all over these hippies with like strobe. It's like a full massive setup. There's like 20 whores in there. And I was like, yo, are these whores? Are they whoring? And he was like, yeah, I'm a pimp. And I was like, whoa. And he was like, yeah, it's $50 to get in and you get free balloons. And I was like, that's tight. And I didn't want to go because I didn't want to support a pimp. But then I was like, how much like did you pay to be here? Because the cops are right there.
Right.
And he was like, 30 grand. And I was like, all right. And that was that. And
then while this is happening, the dude that told us about it,
he snuck in behind him.
Literally saw his opportunity and just went,
yeah.
and he
So
was
slippery,
just
dude.
in.
Wow.
And then I remember the girl went, and then she just left it alone.
Wow.
Insane.
It was a big space. Like it was a big.
Oh, it was
Insane.
it was a massive tent. Like that you would see at like a circus. Yeah, it was crazy.
It was so crazy. It was like such a like view. It was such a just window into the criminal underworld.
Dude, the shit that we have seen, like at just alone at music festivals, is pretty nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know stories of people chilling in a tent and smoking weed, and then like doing a drug deal, and come to find out the dude that had dreadlocks was an undercover cop.
And then he'll pinch you up.
Wow.
And they don't want you. They want the guy that you came for. And so they'll go up the ladder on site. So they'll take you basically. They'll take you and they're like, come. And they do it as fast as possible because they don't want anyone to see you getting pinched.
Yeah.
And they'll have like a little shack off site. They'll literally like cover you in a blanket.
Yeah, it's crazy. They'll put you in a gator.
Yeah.
Like the driving thing.
And then they go, and then they throw you like, and they know you're fucked up. So they put lights in your face and shit. So now there's 3 undercover agents with full dreadlocks and badges and everything, and they're like, just like, he's like, right now you flip right now and that's it, we let you off, you have a good time, you flip right now, and you set it up, and they on the spot, they wire you, they send you out, boom, go all the way up the ladder, and that's when you see like big busts going down because it's a popular, it's usually in the middle of the country, it's people coming from all the coast, all the major cities, it's a highway.
And it's just a drug. It's just drugs. Huge deals are going down because there's a point where after I got plugged in enough, it'd be like, yeah, I'm going to pump to the populace as well. But I also have my buddy who I know can't get this. I'm bringing him like a kilo of X, Y, or Z. And so that's on a small scale compared to what some of the people are going. Then like the cartels got hip to it. Then you'd see like lokes walking around and shit, like just trouble. Well, dude, remember when we went to the last the last original Camp Bisco in Albany, New York, and the security was Hell's Angels, and they would just pull if you were doing something shitty or doing anything that they didn't approve of, they would pull you aside and beat the shit out of you.
Yeah,
and make you and just kick you out.
If you had heroin, they'd beat you up. If you had a gun, they'd fuck you up. I remember that happened. This Chris, our friend,
Right.
our friend.
He was working working the door.
He's like just some guys patting people down and this and that, and you get to keep any of the drugs you confiscate. So at the end of his shift, you go out and party with like legit
look at this.
gallon bags full of confiscated.
And he's like,
I was
"You think I should try this?" And we're all
yeah,
like, "I don't know."
Yeah, it was like heroin. It's like. But he was like, yeah, I patted down a guy and he had a gun and I didn't know what to do. So I let him by and then I flagged somebody and there was like, that guy's got a gun and they invited him in to a
Said
place.
that it was like, come in here, right?
Yeah, we got something.
God.
We got
And they
we
just
got
beat the
whiskey.
shit out of him.
Yeah, they stole his gun and leveled the guy. They own the premises. It's some biker
Hells
gang.
Angel,
Yeah. I don't know if they were
Yeah, I
directly
remember
angels, but
their clubhouse is where it was their medical
Yeah.
tent where I
Yeah.
woke up in.
And here's the thing: is everybody was afraid of these guys. Everyone was like bad vibes from these dudes, and I thought they were actually more fair than anybody. I'd rather
Right.
get fucked with them. I'm not going to jail. I'm not getting
Right.
a record. If they get you, worst thing that happens is they take your shit or they tax you. That happened to a
Right.
couple
What do you
people
mean
I
they
knew.
tax you?
So someone would get hit with a few bags and like 10 G's in cash. They're like, here's the deal. We're taking 3.
yeah,
You probably still did pretty good for yourself. Go have some fun.
right. But
And they're
this
like,
is for
but
us.
we got you.
and we're not going to
and
kick
that's
your
the
ass.
price. Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's the price.
And then
Which is like that. Yeah. That's how real governments work. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
right. And then there were times where you'd come across this type of situation. We were at Camp Bisco when they did it in Scranton. Dumbass fucking idea. You're camped on a fucking mountain.
you literally
You're
can't.
sleeping sideways. It's so stupid. And you're fucked up on ketamine trying to walk up this fucking mountain. You know where you ski down? You have to camp on that.
Oh wow.
That because it was in the summer. So there's
Stupid.
It's so dumb, dude.
Yeah.
And once you're in the festival, very cool. There's a water park with
Yeah, that was
stages.
tight. That
with
was tight.
stages. That was dope.
Cool.
But when you went back to your campsite, you're like, this is idiotic. This is so
You
fucking
got a
dumb.
track to it as well.
Oh yeah, you gotta. And
Was
we
there
were at the
a
very
lift?
top.
Was there a lift? You could
No.
like a gondola.
We'd always be
No.
late, so we'd have to go all the way.
All the way to the top, dude.
It
It
was
was a
bananas.
nightmare. It was awful. So much walking.
But then it was fun because then sometimes it would rain. You see people busting ass all
Yeah,
over the place.
well, we
People
made the
falling
best
all
of
the
it.
way down the mountain.
We made the best of it, obviously,
Yeah,
while we're there. But there was people there that were pretending to be cops, going around with their personal dogs,
Yeah.
and just making people show them their shit,
And taking it.
and just taking it or
Yeah.
letting them pay, like he said,
Yeah.
like you pay us this amount, and we'll just leave you alone.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. It's a whole world. It's a whole.
Yeah.
It's its own thing. It's crazy. I'm glad. I mean. It was fun, but I don't ever want to go camping again like that.
I don't want to go camping. I don't want to be in the thick of it. I'm glad I don't sell drugs. Like I like it in that setting. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like whatever. Make your money at home because it's so sketchy out there, dude.
Right.
It's really the trend. I remember who said it, man. Oh, fuck, who said it? He was so funny. He was some kid that we knew. I forgot how we knew him. He's some kid out in Ohio. He's like, everybody thinks that the shit's all peace and love, open air drug market. Little do they know, it's the fucking trenches out here, boy.
Yeah.
And he's like, bro, you got to keep eyes on your 6.
Yeah.
And that's why like groups would go around. You'd see people had such elaborate, sketchy things. They'd have like groups, these caravans of these drug dealing hippies, and you'd think some chick is just hanging out hula hooping and shit, but really she's keeping her eyes out for feds. It was fucking
Right.
crazy. You'd
Yeah.
see him like,
And sneakers were like if you see like a hippie in sneakers,
and
you're
if
like,
they're in just too good a
oh,
shape, they've got
that's
running
weird.
shoes
They've
on.
got-
Gotta be a fed.
yeah, because
Yeah.
real hippie, they're in like flip flops.
Yeah,
They're
they're
not
beat to
wearing
shit.
shoes.
Yeah, or they're barefoot. Yeah.
First festival I ever saw, I couldn't believe it. I was literally just hanging, and I heard like a radio going off, and a dude bumps right by me, like bumps my shoulder, full dreadlocks, everything, and just tackles some lady, like and she just was walking. She was just walking like this, and I heard the radio go off, like, yep, that's her, and just boom, and knocked this chick out. And he's got like his knee on her. He's taking bags and bags of shit out. And I was like,
Jesus
dude, what the
Christ,
fuck?
dude.
I can't believe thinking about, especially the first couple times, how reckless I was. Because I was just getting after it, man. And I was like, I was just out there, who wants it? Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
And I got better at it. I learned how to be much slicker.
Yeah.
And I learned from other people what mistakes not to make. But I can't believe I never got nabbed.
Dude,
Like,
and another thing, they would have court. They had little mini
courts on
courtrooms.
site. Yeah, that's
set
right.
up.
What?
Yeah, to
So
sentence
dude,
you on
we
site.
had a guy that we were loosely
The
just
quickest
camping
sentence.
with Like, we weren't even friends with this guy.
Yeah, that was,
and
yeah.
he just nicely was like, I'll pay
Your bail.
your little bail, because they would arrest you, and you would go to court on site. And then if you could pay it, they would just let you go, and you could finish partying.
I paid for like $400 or something like that to get this kid out of this little tank, and they never got back to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
This guy's
Filthy fucking.
So here's a
hippies.
question for people who are going to festivals. What is the best way to bring drugs in?
Your butt.
Your butt is really good. Your butt is really good. And
We
it's
did
like,
cereal boxes.
yeah, take something apart and put it back together.
Okay.
You know
what
what I
would
mean?
What would you take apart?
So this is a pretty low level thing, but cereal boxes and then re-glue everything, so something like that. You know?
And you're just like, you was gonna eat cereal.
Yeah, and you're bringing
and
food.
it looks legit.
Oh wait, and you're going. I mean, you're
Yeah,
camping.
you're camping,
so it's
so you're
different
bringing
than
food.
ACL.
Because you put it with all your other groceries.
Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah.
Do they like?
Oh, as far as going into something like that,
Yeah.
you just put it in your underwear.
That's what I've
Yeah.
done. Yeah.
Put it in your nuts.
All right.
Yeah,
Nuts
always
is good.
nuts.
But if you're
Nuts.
bringing too much to
like
fit
ACL,
in there,
you're putting it in your ass.
if you're bringing too much to fit in there, take something apart, put it back together. So the more intricate, the better. One year, this was really cool. We did hula hoops. Do you remember that? Were you there for that?
I don't
one?
think I was there for that one, but I
Yeah.
remember you telling me about it.
This chick would make hula hoops out of like kind of bendy PVC.
Yeah.
And you could put it together, like it had these like links, and so it was hollow like this. So we'd roll up gram bags of MDMA, and then roll those in like saran wrap so it would stick, and it'd be like these little sticky cylinders, and we put it through the tubing, and then put like hundreds of grams in this thing, and then close it back together, and then this girl would use different kinds of colorful tape, like this and that, and then it was just homemade hula hoops, and we had like a whole trunk full of them.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and then we had to bring a saw because we had to.
Yeah, because they're stuck in there.
Yeah, and they're like, "What's the saw for?" And we're like, "For
Cutting
rope."
wood.
Yeah, and so then you do it like this, and then you're blowing out. We would bring people in and be like, "Yo, check this out, man," and just blowing out. It was like raining Molly. Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah, that was tight. That was gangster as shit.
That one's pretty good.
Yeah, that
I
one
like
was
that
that
one.
one was
Clever.
tight.
That's creative.
Weed is tight.
We just tight.
Weed is tight. That's funny. What are we?
We're
at
at
right
just
now?
an hour.
Oh fuck yeah! Great timing.
By the way, is that Tony Soprano on your shirt? I
It
feel like
is.
It can't be. Well, how is it what is it? Just a new Steely Dan shirt?
No, it's actually like a rip-off shirt.
Yeah,
It's
okay,
like it's
okay.
just from that episode of Sopranos where he's singing "Dirty Work," and some independent artist made it.
Is that before he
I
gets?
think they got cease and
Is
desist.
that before he gets
Nice.
crashed into? Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Spoilers.
recently just rewatched all of it.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So good. We went to the theater to see the new one.
Oh,
And is
yeah.
this true? Someone told me the other day that was written as its own like independent film
Oh.
that like didn't really get to go.
Sure.
And they decided to turn it into into
It happens.
Sopranos.
That
I have
happens.
no idea if that's
I heard
true.
it was supposed to be about those riots that are
That's
in the
interesting.
movie, but it didn't go.
Interesting.
And they rewrote it to become the prequel to
I
Sopranos.
thought the movie was pretty good.
Oh, I liked
Yeah?
it.
My
Some people were
my
mad about
roommate
it, but-
who loves Sopranos like refuses to watch it.
It's fun. It's good. It's good.
I
It's not
liked
bad.
it.
Okay.
And also, I thought his son did a fucking great job.
The son was great.
Yeah.
He's sober. Been sober a long time.
So he's gay.
Whoa, buddy.
Real quick, before we go, you want to plug any shows? This will be out next week. This will be out next Thursday.
Okay, yeah. So if anyone is listening in the Austin area, we're producing a show at the Alamo Draft House at Mueller, March 31st. 2 shows, 7 and 9 o'clock. Mason's on the 9 o'clock show. And then me and a bunch of very funny friends will be on both. And then go check out TV Sketch Show on YouTube and Instagram and everywhere. And episode 2 is dropping within the next week.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And Nick, you can go ahead.
Check out Sidecar Junkaroo. It is a magazine. Print is back, baby.
Yeah,
And it's
in a big way.
And it's in a big way. And it's in magazine
really?
format. Oh yeah. Nat shook his hand off. He was off camera. That's what was fun. Anyway, we're working real hard to put something out that no one reads. And you can pay $15 on Patreon to get it mailed to your house.
Hell yeah, dude. By the way, we need to start a Patreon. Let's do a Patreon for High Noon.
100. We just hit 100. We're ready to make some money.
Yeah. Hey, if each one of you gave us $1,
you guys are gonna be rolling it in no time.
Yeah. All right. Well,
so yeah, that and Absurd Junk on YouTube. Check it out.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And thank you for stepping in and doing the co-hosting while doing all this shit.
Yeah.
Nat Rogachevsky, thanks for coming on. Please follow, please like, rate, review, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I think now it's Mason Smith's High Noon Podcast.
High Noon with Mason Smith.
Yeah, cool. So please do that. We just got 100 subscribers.
We did.
Thanks to that fraternity kid that said he liked the podcast.
Nice.
Made his minions follow us.
Who did this?
Yeah.
So some random fraternity kid came up to me the other night at Vulcan and goes, "Dude, you're the podcast guy." He's like, "I like your podcast. I've seen your podcast."
Nice.
And I was like, "Fuck yeah."
That's tight.
It was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, and oh my god, I can't believe it. Check out Slam Time Live, my podcast.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
It's great.
It is great. But anyways, please, I'll be at Kingdom doing Throne Room Comedy on March 22nd and East Austin Comedy Club March 22nd. And then please, also come out March 24th to Vulcan for Holy Smokes with Sam Hunter and Chad J. And then once again, please, June 24th, if you're in Boston, I'll be opening for Andrew Vickers at Nick's Comedy Stop.
Yeah, that'll be really cool.
Cannot fucking wait for that. So please get tickets for that.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for coming on. It was a lot of fun. Do you have the...
I do.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, here we go.
Here we go.
Fuck yeah.
Howdy, partner. Thanks for tuning in to High Noon with that wily coyote, Mason Smith.
Got bit by a sleepy
Make sure
bug.
you like,
I
share,
gotta wake it up. I gotta
subscribe
post
on all platforms.
Oh, that's right.
We'll see you next week on the Dusty Trail
Oh, the stage.
for more hijinks and
Yeah,
fun.
it all turns on, but I want to mix some stuff up. I've been a little bit bored with the ordering I shipped recently. I gotta go over some notes, try to work in some new shit.
So I didn't want to bring up any more comedy stuff, but